Hello, welcome back to another video with My Money Masters. I'm Cameron, and today we're going to talk about some quick tips and tricks on how to save and invest more money for your future. Did you know that the average person saved about 13% of their income in 2020? Are you saving enough? Are you investing enough? Let's take a look. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm really excited about today's topic. Today we're going to talk about some tips on saving and investing money. I mentioned earlier that the average person saved about 13% of their income in 2020. That's based upon information from Statista.com, and looking at the chart, there was a huge spike in April of 2020, probably because of the COVID pandemic. Prior to that, the average rate was pretty much constant, around 7%, maybe 6 to 8%. Now, financial minds and financial gurus of the world would suggest that a savings rate of about 20% is actually more appropriate for individuals, but does that even make sense? Specifically today, I'm going to discuss the benefits of starting early in your savings and investing journey, quick ways to make saving and investing completely painless, nearly automated, and of course, give you my personal take on this topic at the end. So make sure you stay until the end for my personal thoughts. Also, please help me out by subscribing to my channel and turning notifications on so you can see the newest content when it comes out. Your subscribing helps me to be able to produce more content, and also, feel free to comment, below something related in personal finance, investing, or maybe even making money online. Anything that you would like me to potentially discuss in future videos. I really, really appreciate it. With regards to this topic, please note that I am not a registered advisor, and I would suggest that you talk with your financial advisor or your tax advisor before making any investment decisions. Per usual, I have at least 2 books that I recommend on the topic of saving and investing. One of the ones that I actually just thought of was, and forgot to mention, is The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. I will put all of these in the description of the video for you as well. So, benefits to starting ASAP on investing. Even if you don't think that, even if you think that it's well beyond early for you to start or too late, you can still start today. And today is the best time to start. I have 4 benefits on this screen that I want to discuss. Let me start by saying that if you're purely saving money and aren't investing, this is a bad idea. Savings interest rates are so low that if you account for inflation, you are losing money every year. That being said, if you start saving early, you have less expenses and less life experiences that may have cost you money early, and you can potentially build a savings account very early on. Use that money for future investments. Also, if you start saving early, you plan for future risks. You might be able to limit future risks if you save early and learn about investing very early on. The common example here is the stock market. If you invested and continued to invest, even if the market goes lower, you have the time to wait out a down market. Plus, when things are low, it's almost like a sale on the stock market. The longer you wait to invest, the less available time you have to recover from any of these downturns or any losses. Likewise, if you start early, compounding can be your friend. Take this example here. A 25-year-old invests $2,400 annually or $200 a month for 40 years. The total investment over 40 years is $96,000. And if we assume an average return of the stock market is around 8%, by the age of 65, technical retirement age, the account would be over $620,000. Conversely, a 35-year-old who invests $400 per month or $4,800 annually, twice as much as the $200 a month. And they only do this for 30 years. In order to retire at the same age of 65, total investment over 30 years is $144,000 versus the $96,000. Assuming an 8% return, the value would just be over $550,000. This assumes both examples start with nothing in the account. Lastly, investing and saving just generally improve your quality of life. If you are focused on investing, if you are focused on spending time and having time to spend in the future, and not focused on frivolous items and expensive things that you don't need, then you potentially have a better life and a longer life. Now, I'm not saying we can't have fun, but there needs to be a balance and a mindset focused on making lives better and improving those lives around us. Since I know saving can be considered hard or boring, and investing can even be considered harder and more boring, I have offered some options here that you can use to make it nearly completely done for you, automated. You may have heard of automatic rounding. Many banks do this now. This is where you are allowed to round up your most recent purchase to the next dollar, and they will move these pennies into a savings account or an investment account. Acorns is commonly known as doing this, which is actually a pretty good program, and it dumps the remainder of your roundup into an investment account that will typically invest in ETFs. Now, you can structure that account however you want based upon your risk level, but it typically invests in exchange-traded funds. Automatic investing is something very popular with the mutual fund industry. They basically set up transfers that go periodically into your mutual fund from your bank, and they invest into the existing mutual fund that you own. You don't have to talk to your broker. You don't have to go online and place the trade. It's all done for you. Now, another way to potentially do this is paying yourself first. You can always open an account that is set to receive money automatically whenever you get paid a portion. Say it's 10% that automatically goes into this other account. Now, we have to make sure we don't mess with this account and we don't decide to pull out money whenever we need it for any particular reason. This is strictly for an investing account. You can also include a line item in your budget. Call it a personal expense or a for me expense, and you're paying yourself immediately. When you receive your paycheck, you transfer money over manually. Plus, there's so many apps out there that can help you budget that it doesn't really need to be challenging. You have to have a budget, though. You have to know what's going in and what's going out. I would also suggest that you consider utilizing your matching contribution from your company 401k plan. Now, I will talk a little bit further about this in the next couple of slides, or the next slide, but if they offer one, it might make sense to invest the max amount so that they can match your contribution. Also, if you have a company stock purchase plan where you can purchase the stock at a discount of your company, consider taking advantage of that. I would highly discourage, though, putting all of your retirement investments into your own company or into the company that you work for, their stock. The employees of Enron learned very, very the hard way that investing in the company that you work for may not be the best option. Any company can fail. One of the most common and easiest ways to utilize this compounding and automatic investing is dividend reinvestment. You can use dividend reinvestment on any dividend paying stock, and typically most mutual funds will have this as well. Now, so my final take on this, kind of my opinion, personal thoughts are, my advice on being able to save or invest more, you have to consider your long-term purpose. Why are you investing? Is it just because someone said it was a good idea? Also, what are you investing in? There are 4 asset classes that you need to consider in order to be quote-unquote diversified. If you are just in mutual funds, stocks, bonds, and ETFs, you are not diversified. You are just spreading your risk over a highly volatile stock market. You cannot be diversified just within one class. The 4 asset classes that I want to talk about now are real estate, personal business, paper assets, and commodities. So, the stock market is actually only one asset class that I mentioned earlier, paper assets. We say paper because originally you would actually purchase a stock certificate and you would have this paper asset, tangible item in your hand. But that's no longer the case. Most of the things are digital. Also, I want to call out here, be careful with the 401k. Typically, they are laden with fees And, since they're heavily invested in mutual funds, these 401ks, you could potentially be hit with a lot of fees. Do your due diligence and learn as much as you can about 401k before blindly investing. This again goes to my financial education piece. Starting a side business, a personal business, is one of the asset classes and incredibly important. Not only is a business incredibly fulfilling, and having a side business can be very lucrative, but there are multiple tax advantages to starting one. If you are interested in starting your own business online, I have a great recommendation that I will put in the description for you. It will actually teach you 3 different business models and how to start, create, and scale each one of those. Real estate, third one I want to talk about here, is probably the most popular asset class for the ultra rich. Real estate offers many tax advantages, and it's just a really great way to provide for someone's shelter. You can do this by building apartment complexes, owning and rehabbing apartment complexes, even houses. It's a great opportunity. I love real estate. The last one I want to discuss is commodities. So we talk about physical, tangible items here. So physical forms of gold, silver, some of the other items on the commodities exchange, cotton, sugar, pork bellies. You can consider exchanging, or you consider investing in commodities through an exchange. It's very similar to the stock market. It doesn't take a lot to get started. I would encourage you, though, to learn as much as you can about it. There are some nuances associated with commodities trading. The big thing that I really want you to take away from this is that financial education, once again, plays a huge part in knowing how to save and what to invest in. We don't want to just blindly suggest and follow the local guru or the thing that you see on your email. Just decide that, hey, I'm going to try this out. Don't try this out. Learn as much as you can and take action when you're ready to take action, but don't take too long to learn before your action. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and cheers to your success.